Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. In today's episode, I am decorating some beautiful Christmas items that I have created with my Atomstack A20 Pro laser. Whether you have a laser, are interested in getting a laser, or just want to see me create these beautiful Christmas items, I am so excited that you're here. If you like crafting or DIYs, I would love if you would consider subscribing. Remember to hit that thumbs up if you like any of today's projects, but let's go make some Christmas decor. About a month ago, I did receive the Atomstack A20 Pro laser from the company, and I did a video all about that and other items that you can make, and I'll leave a link to that down in my description box. But the company reached out to me and asked if I would show how I decorate some Christmas items I made with my laser, and of course, I love Christmas items. I've had so much fun using this laser, and so I thought it would be so fun to show some really cute, intricate, detailed items that you can make with your laser and just how I decorate them. So here I'm just showing you what it looks like when it cuts everything out. I got all of these files from Etsy, and so I will share the link down in my description box if you're curious on those. I like to use spray paint when I paint my items after I cut them out. I feel like it works the fastest, and there's so many little pieces and intricate pieces that you can see how I use the painter's tape to kind of keep them from flying around there. It works really well to do spray paint. Of course, you have to make sure that your weather is permitting, because if you get below like 50 degrees Fahrenheit, your spray paint won't cure. So just make sure of that. And so now we're just going to focus on all the little individual items for this tiered tray. So this little ho 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 sign is so cute, but I am just using a little bit of white paint to make it look like snow on those letters. And throughout this whole tiered tray project here, I do a little dry brushing on all of the items to give it a little spackled look. And then you could see how I was just kind of zhuzhing that little frame and these letters around. I like to put a little glue on my plate and rub the item around in the glue and then dab it off. That kind of makes sure you don't have a lot of excess glue seeping out. So here's the cute little ho 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 sign. I just love this, and at the end of this little video here, I'm going to show you how everything looks together. I just think this whisk is absolutely darling. I used some hammered metal spray paint on the whisk part there, which really kind of gave it a metalled look. And then it was just antiquing wax I put on the handle there, tied that cute little twine bow on there. I thought the green color would look cute and Christmassy. So now, of course, if you have a whisk, you've got to have a little mixing bowl to go with it. So on this mixing bowl, it cuts out the cute little rings that go on the bowl here to give it that little dimension. And that's the one thing I love about using the laser, is the detail and the different items that it cuts out to go with things to layer like this. I mean, look at how absolutely darling these are together. But it's so fun to have all of that detail that sometimes you don't get. So I've had so much fun decorating these items. So of course, if we're going to have a baking theme, we have to have a rolling pin, and it cuts out this cute little baking spirits bright to put on there. Now I'm using these markers in this video. These are Elmer's brand acrylic paint markers, and I just picked them up at Walmart. You can buy them individually with whatever colors you want. You can buy them in like a pack with, I think mine came with red, black, white, and green. And you can get different thicknesses for the tips, but they worked really well with decorating the little intricate designs on here. I mean, look at those cute little handles on that rolling pin. I would not have been able to freehand that with a paintbrush. So these markers have saved my bacon, literally. So now we have this cute little cookie jar, and I'm going around the edge with a little bit of antiquing wax on a baby wipe. I thought this would just add a little bit. I mean, I love distressing. I love things to kind of look aged, or they've been around for a minute or two. And so this is just a matter of personal preference, but I really liked the edge that it gave onto the cookie jar. And then I just did some polka dots all over. Christmas, I feel like you can really get away with making things really cutesy and having it look really fun. And so I kind of went with that in this video. And honestly, I love how everything turned out. I just think those little cookies coming out of that top of that cookie jar are so cute, and I thought that was such a clever design. Now, of course, to get the cookies, we have to have a cute little cookie cutter. I sprayed this also with that hammered metal spray paint by Rust-Oleum, and then I love the cute little handle that it comes with. And then I just added a little bit more detail on there, and I just thought that was so cute. You can kind of see the little scalloped edge that's on the cookie there. I mean, the detail is just so fun. So these are just some little cookies that you probably cut out with your cookie cutter, and I'm just gluing the little icing onto the top of each of those. And I just spray painted them with a brown to kind of give him a gingerbread feel. And then I am just going to distress those, and look at how cute. I just think those cookies are darling. And you can cut as many cookies out as you want for your tiered tray. So this is the last element of this tiered tray here, is this cute little Santa mug. And I just used Folk Arts chalk paint in seashell color to do his skin color, his nose and everything there. And then I am just doing all the little details. They just glue stacking one on top of the other. I used my paint markers to do his eyes and the cute little detail on the berry. Here I'm just using a little bit of dry brushing with some crimson paint on there to kind of rosy up his cheeks. I went around the edge of his nose, so it kind of made his nose look like a cherry, because that's what the poem tells us. And then I went around his beard with a little bit of antiquing wax to add some definition, and just using the marker to add a little bit of detail onto his nose and on the handle, just kind of cutesy it up a bit. And I just think he turns out so cute, you guys. So let's have a look at what everything looks like together on a tiered tray. I just think this is absolutely adorable. I think it is darling. It's so fun. It's that country Christmas feel. It's going to be so cute. Now the camera doesn't pick up the letters so well on that Baking Spirits Bright, but trust me, it looks so cute on there. I just think this turned out so beautiful. What do you guys think of this? Is this something you decorate your kitchen with? I have had so much fun making signs with my laser, and this was one of like such a satisfying cut here because everything cut out so well. You can see that you just lift up your item almost just like a puzzle there, and look at how cute everything is. So I'm just spray painting with just my normal Krylon or Rust-Oleum spray paint. I always buy the higher end brands of spray paint to make sure everything turns out really good. This is a hammered metal spray paint from Rust-Oleum, and it makes it look like metal. I love it. I'll show you. I'll leave a link down in the description box so you can kind of see what it is, but I just love it. And then it just takes a couple coats sometimes to get everything spray painted. Now I'm going to show you a hack that I've seen on Instagram, and this was the first time I gave it a try, and it actually worked out really well. So I'm taking my cutout from the sign, and I'm just using, this is just Rapid Fuse. It's from, I got mine at Lowe's, but I believe you can find the DAP brand like on Amazon or Home Depot, or I don't know where else, but it's out there, so you can definitely find it. So I'm just using the cutout template as a template where everything goes, so that way I don't have to worry about lining things up and having them be straight or crooked or anything like that. You just want to be careful when you're putting your glue on that you don't put so much on that it seeps underneath that template that you're using, because you don't want that glued as part of your sign. So you can see it just pours right out. I've got all of my letters on there. They all look great. They're all where they're supposed to be. So I put it back on because I thought, okay, I'm going to use it to put these snowflakes in. And that first snowflake went in pretty easy. I got to this next one and realized that these all were cut out just a little bit of a different size than one another. And so I thought, you know what, never mind on the snowflakes. They're too intricate to do that with. I can just keep my template here as a guide on where I need to glue those snowflakes on, because it's not going to matter, you know, if the little edge of the snowflakes turned a little bit one way or the other. They're not going to be crooked, I guess is what I'm saying. They're circular. So and you can place them on there. You can leave them off if you want. But I love to use my plate there just to put a little bit of glue on there and then just dab that item in, rub it around so it gets excess off, because I learned the hard way that a little glue goes a long way, and you can have it seep out and you can see it, and it's not the prettiest. So now I take just a little dry brush and just dry brush a little bit of white chalk paint over this metal part to give it a little bit more of a metal look, like brighten it up a little bit. I just love to do that, so that way it gives it more of a galvanized metal look. Now these little pieces right here I got on Etsy, a design to cut these out, and my kids thought they were Among Us characters at first. If you know what that is, you might have a little chuckle at that, but I thought they looked like olives. But they're actually pieces that you glue on the back of your sign to use as a hanger, and you can size them to be bigger or smaller. This was just the size that the file came as. I might make them a little smaller next time I cut them out, but you just glue them on the back. They have a little spacer that rises them up so you can feed your twine or your wire through. And it was just so fun to be able to use the laser to make every part of this. I didn't have to go get anything else to put on the back of this to hang it. And I just thought that worked super well, because of course you're going to want your people to hang signs if you give it away as a gift or when you hang it on your door or wherever. But where would you hang this darling Santa Stop Here sign? I think this is adorable. You guys know I say that all the time, but I just think it turned out so cute. And of course, what kid is not going to want this sign to remind Santa to stop here? I went a little bit out of my comfort zone with this particular project, and because there were so many different little pieces to it, but the laser cut it out so good, and there were so many little pieces. You can see how I have to use that painter's tape when I paint my items, but I'm going to make a cute little Santa gnome. And I was really nervous about this because, like I said, there was a lot of little pieces to it and everything, but the laser cut everything out fine, and I was able to paint it all. And guys, it's one of my most favorite Christmas items that I've made. I'm not even kidding. It turns out so stinking cute. So I just used my little acrylic paint markers to paint the little candy cane portion of that little sign there. That's the actual North Pole there. And then I also used it to do some little details on the gingerbread men. And I'm going around all of the edges to kind of give this a little bit. I wanted this to kind of be Christmassy, cutesy, just have a lot of little embellishment and definition to it. So at first I went around and dry brushed around the edges with a little bit of white, but I ended up doing something else. But I think the combination works well, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. So on the white items, I take a little bit of antiquing wax on a baby wipe, and I'm just going around all of the edges to give it a little bit more of a definition. And then I thought it would be so cute to have some polka dots on the solid red items. So on Santa's little hat there, on the North Pole sign that I'm doing there, and then also on the little ribbon that's going to go on our present, I did some polka dots on there. It was also the fine tip that I did the polka dots with on this one of those markers, just so you know. Now, I forgot to spray paint the end, the body of this Santa for some reason, so I just quickly did some chalk paint, and it's a little bit of a different color. Once you get it together, you can't even tell. So this is what I'm talking about, that I went around the edge with that white marker there, and I was like, ooh, I really like the way that looks. So I took everything that was red and I went around the edge, but I think it works well having the dry brushing there also. So the combination looks really good. So now I'm just gluing on Santa's little face and hat, the next layer of this. And I did this, and after I get it down, you can see me, I'm like, wait, I forgot to paint his beard. So I think I was worried about taping off and painting the hat portion that I forgot to retape it and spray paint his beard. But I just went ahead and used some chalk paint, and it worked fine. And then I also went around his beard to give it the same definition with the antiquing wax as everything else. And then it's just a matter of like putting a puzzle together, but you're gluing it. So you're just doing all of your pieces together. For the nose, I used a seashell color. I believe it's Folk Art acrylic paint that I did. It has a really pinkish color of skin there. And then I just went around his nose with a little bit of red to kind of, give it that cute little definition. And then now it's just a matter of gluing everything together. So I have this little North Pole sign here. This glues onto him like it's letting you know that he's from the North Pole, and it's got these little different signs on there that say where the elf village is, his workshop, where the reindeer are, and you can kind of, I don't know if I did these super crooked or not, but you could make it as whimsical and fun as you wanted. Now I'm just taking my marker and doing a little bit of extra detail on his feet there, on his nose, and then I'm just going to glue this little package on. These are his little hands holding this little banner of the gingerbread man, the peppermint, and the cute little present there, and then just some glue to glue this sign on. And I had to slip this sign down under. That spacer that pops that garland out is what lets you slide that North Pole sign down there. So it worked out really well. Guys, I mean, look at how absolutely darling this is. And it has this little stand, and so I distressed it the same as I did everything. And then I went back in and thought I wanted to do a little flex on this, and so I had really watered down paint and just went over it and kind of gave it a little bit more of like a spackled look there. And then I thought it would be really cute to take the little bulb on the North Pole sign and the snowflakes. I painted them with Mod Podge and then sprinkled some glitter over them. And then this is just me brushing off the excess glitter around the different areas on him. But I just thought that would be a really cute, look at how cute that glitter looks on there. You guys, I am in love. I am not the biggest gnome person. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I've done a couple on my channel, but they're not something that I'm like obsessed with like the gnome craze is right now. But he may change that. He's absolutely darling. I am so excited to have him out in my house. My husband asked if I was going to give him to a friend that we have that really likes gnomes, and I was like, absolutely not. He was too fun to make, and there was so much detail that I'm like, I want him sitting in my house. I just think he's darling. I would love to know your thoughts on him. I had an absolute blast making these items. My Atomstack laser makes it so easy to cut these items out, and it is just so fun because being the creative person that I am, I just love taking just the blank wood and bringing these items to life. I'm extremely happy with how all of these came out. I think I did a pretty good job bringing them to life and adding some fun detail to them. I want to say that if you have thought about getting a laser at all or have looked into it, it is a great investment, especially if you're going to use it to sell items or have like an Etsy store, or if you are a serious crafter or do it for a living. There is so many possibilities to use it for. I am so happy with how all of these Christmas items came out. Which of these would you pick to decorate with in your home? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. I just think that we have such a great theme going here. We've got the Santa Stop Here sign, we've got the little Santa gnome, and we've got a beautiful array of Christmas cookies for Santa there. I will leave all of the links down in my description box, including one for the Atomstack laser, so you can have a look at that and see if that's something you would be interested in. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments as well. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day and Merry Christmas. Happy crafting! If you like the video that you just saw and you want to keep crafting together, here's another video that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.